Peace, 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 family. What's good? How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? Oh, man. So I was watching some YouTube videos today, as we do. You know, gotta catch up on, see what Speaker's Corner is going on with. What's good, family? I want to see some family like sign up in the building. I know the notification gang ain't been getting notifications as of late. I do not know why, but please, 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 if you are available, please hit the like button, share button, all of that good stuff, and get involved. Jonah Hire in the building. What's good? Peace, family. I'm loving it. All right. So notification gang is getting it in. Miss KK, what's good? What's good? Ultra funky. Peace, peace, peace. So I was watching this video. It's called Science Cannot Prove God Exists. Okay. So I wanted to have a little discussion on that. Hopefully, inshallah, we can get some shows popping tonight. I want to get some shows popping tonight. And I particularly think this is a very, very, very good topic. The topic really I want it to be is belief versus knowledge. Like, I really want to do that, you know. I know my my religious family, they deal a lot with beliefs. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm stating something wrong, please let me know, okay? You guys who are religious, you deal with the side of beliefs. And I know those of us who are either Kemetic or atheist or agnostic, we deal with something called Gnosis, okay? Gnosis really is to do with knowledge-based claims, or technically it's to do with science/philosophy, and so forth. So that's what we deal with, okay? We want to find the logic behind, you know, the logic and the rationale behind why certain people accept certain things. So I wanted to get into this. I really wanted to get into this because I know Hamza loves this, you know, belief versus knowledge, and belief, you know, I have a justified reason to believe in what I believe in, etc., etc., etc. All right, cool. All right, so, but as long as you know that it's not knowledge, it's not a fact, it's not based upon evidence, no, but I have a reason, etc., etc., etc. All right, cool. So you fully well know that you cannot prove the existence of God. You know, I'm coming to the conclusion. I've seen quite a lot of his videos. He comes up very straightforward, very blunt, and says, you know what, I cannot prove the existence of God. All right, excellent. Okay, so you can't prove the existence of God. So where are we going? Where are we going? I don't know where we're going after there, but still. All right, so we're going to talk about something that we cannot prove. That's fine. I could do that all day long. I love talking about Batman. I love talking about, you know, Superman. I love talking about Spider-Man. I love talking about Wolverine and all those things there. I love going into those things. Those are my hype tools right there. And I love speaking about those things more time because I know there's less of a very heated argumentation that takes place, because we all know it's, you know, it's all to do with fantasy, or it's all to do with make-believe and so forth. So as long as we can establish that, then we can go forward in harmony. But unfortunately, when it comes to religion now, most people don't take that same perspective. So I wanted to know, you know, like, is this true for the rest of my religious family? You know, you cannot prove the existence of God. You cannot prove the existence of God. All right, if that is true, let me know. Let's just let me know. Can you prove the existence of God? Just type in yes or type in no. Type in yes, I can prove the existence of God, or type in no, I can't prove the existence of God. Okay, that's what I want to know. Like, can you prove it? And for those of you guys who say, okay, wow, everybody's saying nope, Bigavelli, Jonah, we're saying no so far. All right, cool. So if you're saying yes, I want to know, you know, your proof. Like, how can you demonstrate God exists? Because we got a claim going off of my brother Hamza to say that the science or the scientific method cannot prove the existence of God. So I wanted to know, what other method are you utilizing to actually prove the existence of God? Which is like weird to me. It's really weird to me. Okay. So we're establishing that you have to take a leap of faith. Like, the way I see it, he knows you have to take a leap of faith, and then accept the existence of God, and then believe it, and so forth. Peace, 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 family. What's good? Yes, I can logically show you that God exists. I don't need to give you evidence for God. We use our logic for God's existence. Marshall, no disrespect. We had you on not too long ago in a private hangout, and unfortunately, you was skating around the topic. Yes, I can prove the existence of God. Okay, I can prove that the Quran is God's word. Then you went everywhere, fam. You went multiple directions and absconded from the actual claim that you initially made. So I don't even want to know that. So I want to get other people to let me know, like, you know, how do you prove the existence of God without utilizing the scientific method? Without utilizing that, how do you prove it? Because I'm baffed. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm baffed. I'm really, really baffed. Like that you fully well know you cannot prove the existence of God. So then can we just admit that it is a belief? Like, I had to take a leap of faith into accepting the existence of God. You know, can we go there? Because, you know, my brother was making up some things like, oh, you know, he was using philosophy. Like, no problem. I'm there with you. Metaphysics, you know, causalities, cause and effect. You know, every effect has a cause. And every cause, therefore, has an uncaused cause or something like that. Well, like, when you go back, you know, without going into infinite regression, there must be an uncaused cause. No problem, no problem. That's going into philosophy right now. That's going into the realms of you know, Descartes. That's going into the realms of Aristotle. That's going into the realms of like all my Greek philosophers like Plato and so forth. Like, I love that. I'm there with you on that. Okay, I personally accept. I'm gonna be real with you. I personally accept an uncaused cause. No, that's a lie. I don't think I accept an uncaused cause. What do I accept? I accept a prime mover. That's what I accept. I accept, personally, I'm just going to put it out there, and I'll give you my rationale to actually come to that conclusion as well. Okay? So everything that moves, okay, is either self-moved or is moved by something else. Okay? It's either self-moved or moved by something else. Okay? So if something is moving, or wasn't moving at present, but then somebody moves that thing, it now becomes its mover. Okay, so I accept that there is a movement, there is a mover, and so forth. The movement, the moved, and the mover. I'm with you on all of those things there. Okay, there needs to, in order for there to be effect, there must initially be a cause. Okay, and when we go back and back and back and back, depending upon which level we want to stop at, or which perspective we want to take, there is obviously a prime mover for certain things. Okay, so there's always a prime mover. So I'm with you with the whole prime mover, the uncaused caused. I'm half with you. I'm half with you because there must have been a reason why the thing moved in its first place. But that's something else. That's beyond the point. So so I'm with you if you're busting off those arguments. But then when you conflate it with God and you start giving it particular attributes, yes, it must be all knowledgeable. I'm like, okay. So in order for God to be God, it must be all knowledgeable. In order for God to be God, it must be all powerful. In order for God to be God, or this whatever it is, it needs to have all of these different attributes, and I'm lost, okay, because I'm with you up to a certain point, but then when you go into all of these different attributes, I'm like, how did you come to, how I just want to know, how did you come to this conclusion? Obviously you had already a preconceived notion of what God is. God must be all powerful. Like, God must be all powerful. Why must he be all powerful? I'm yet to understand why a thing needs to be all powerful. In order to create something, you must have knowledge of it. You must have all knowledge of it, and so forth and so forth. I'm like, okay, all right. How did you come to that conclusion then? I don't know. I'm still trying to understand why and how you came to this conclusion. Like, you know, like I may have children. I don't know, you know, the intricacies of my child. I don't know what he's gonna do tomorrow, what he's gonna do today. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm trying to understand, like, how did you jump to that? What was the analogy you utilized to come to that conclusion? I'm always baffed. Sometimes I'm just baffed, silently baffed, like how people, you know, jump. I'm trying to follow the syllogism of logic. I'm trying to, but then you went, conclusion, but okay, I'll listen anyway. Anyways, let me go back into the comment section and listen up and read what you guys are saying. Oh man, let's see who's here. Pavinda Ninja was good. We can't prove anything outside of the universe. Exactly. In the same way, you can't prove the existence of love or metaphysics. Okay. Good requires faith by definition, not proven. Okay. Just consciousness, that's it. Self-realization, aka consciousness. We have strong arguments for the existence of God. The Kalam cosmological argument, Fitra argument, ontological argument, moral argument. This strengthens our belief. We have strong arguments for the existence of God. Okay. The Kalam cosmological argument. Okay. The Fitra argument. Okay. The ontological argument, the moral argument, this strengthens our... You know what? You may have to just drop them for me, you know. You really do, because I'm sure we did a Kalam cosmological argument already. You know, I know we did something like that before. No science cannot definitely prove or disprove God's existence as it's outside our means of observation. You know, that's the problem. When God becomes transcendent, you know, and outside of the universe, it's like, damn, fam, that's a that there is. I don't know how you do that one. How do you prove that one? You really can't. You just got to do a leap of faith for real. You really do have to do a leap of faith. Really do. You know, but once your God is actually contextualized, or you divinize certain aspects within inside of the universe, I can prove that, no problem. But once something's outside, it's a difficulty, man. It's a real difficulty. It now becomes an abstraction. No woman could prove the existence of God. We can't prove God's existence, which is why it's based on faith. Okay, good stuff. But we can't prove God doesn't exist either. Okay. Then we have subjective experiences. Just like you can't prove that fairies doesn't exist, or unicorns doesn't exist, or trolls doesn't exist. I know for sure you could not prove trolls definitely don't exist. I can prove trolls exist on here. Okay, then we have subjective experience. It is more reasonable to believe than not to believe. Again, it's to do with belief, innit? It's really not knowledge. Like, I like knowledge-based claims. I can do belief claims all day long. Trust me, I love beliefs and so forth. I can delve into that realm, but I realize that it's a realm of belief rather than a realm of actual facts and knowledge. God is great architecture of this perfect universe and world. Nothing can come from nothing. I don't know about that, man. I don't know, man, because some people believe that they believe in the creatio ex nihilo, you know, that God creates out of nothing. So something must have come out of nothing, according to them. When you believe in God anyway. This only applies of the world, truly it's physical, etc. The essential nature of the universe is not physical. No one can prove God's existence. To come to the conclusion that God exists, we use our reasoning. Unless you can disprove it, then I'll go with you. We have strong reasons and arguments for a creator. God is not corporal or incorporeal. No man has ever seen God or know what God is or isn't. Sage, what's up, Kalam? What's good? Why must it be a he? You know? Why can't it be a she? Or why can't it be a it? Or why can't it be a hermaphrodite? Or why can't it not be a hermaphrodite? Oh, man. Okay, why did the ancient Egyptians have a belief in the afterlife? Did they? You know, that is a, what do we call that? A loaded question. Is that a loaded question? Or no, you have a presupposition in there. Instead of asking, did the Egyptians have a belief in the afterlife? You've now stated, as you know for a fact, that the ancient Egyptians did have a belief in the afterlife. People are so arrogant, it's stupid. How can you put human reasoning to the concept of God? We don't have to know everything, and you'll be a fool to try. Okay, because most religions are misogynistic. True. Black power family. All religions were constructed to control the masses. Wake up, woman. Intelligent design, Fibonacci, and golden ratio number are strong arguments of a God created design or grand architect. So because there is patterns within inside of nature, there must be a God. Like, help me to understand how you came to that conclusion. Help me. You know, we must take the religious meaning out of the God definition and put it in nature and reality only. You're trying to figure out God, but you can't even understand what a dog is saying. Laugh my fat ass off. Okay, no problem. So I might as well just have, you know, let me just make the dog the God. And I'll make dog God then, basically. And then you're going to say to me, but why is your dog the God? And I'm like, but why is your God the God? And then we're going to have a circular conversation. Because I don't understand what your God is. Anyway, I'm trying rubbish now, sorry. The theory of the Big Bang, by definition, lends itself for the theory of God. Okay. Like, help me in it. Like, when you make these claims here, like, please believe, yeah, I am the most... ignorant person there is. Like, when you make claims, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, so you have to break it down in simple man's speech for me so I can actually understand. Like, help me to understand what you're saying. Tiny Steve, love y'all, keep doing it, big family. What's good? And then he sends a book. Religion, a method to make a small unelected elite live a life of idleness and sloth while claiming the moral high ground. Yo, Kalam, how come you don't upload new Speaker's Corner videos anymore? I can't be bothered. can't be bothered, to be honest with you. It's too much hard work. Way too much hard work. I like the easy life. Everything is everything. You're trying to understand God, but can't understand ants on the ground, okay? What's good? Official Speaker's Corner in the building. Oh, man. Fitra argument is not a good one for atheists. Please don't use that one. Stick to logic and reasoning. Can anyone also explain to me how this universe came into being? Okay. To shave my hair. Okay, Billy can have it. Okay. Okay, you can prove God exists using deductive logic and probability. Ooh! Now you're going into my fields. Now you're going into my fields. You're talking about gnosis to me now. Like, you know, if anybody... Again, let me just quickly do some, like, plugs for Kemetic philosophy and stuff like that. There you go. That's the gnosis right there. That's the gnosis. You know, gnosis is to do with deductive logic. It's even to do with... It's to do with quite a lot, actually. Deductive logic, informal logic, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, help me to understand, family. When was the last time science proved anything? Science is mostly theory, less facts. Tell me, what does the word theory means? Like, and that was another thing I was watching in what's his name, Hansa's video today. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, theory means something completely different than you know, than what we talk, how we talk about it. Like, they've completely changed it. They've completely changed what theory means. I'm like, fam, like, oh man. I don't want to speak above anybody. Let me not do that. But I'm pretty sure, at least, okay, if we went to college, like, I know university definitely, but at least if we went to college, and we have textbooks, right? We have textbooks, okay? What we're talking about, when you see words, okay, you can have a word and then you have a definition of that word, okay? That is just colloquial stuff, okay? But then when we're talking about in terms of discussions and debates and academia, a word is a word, yes, but then it becomes a term. And the term has its own definition within inside of that field, if that makes any sense, okay? So the theory inside of science has a particular, or inside of science basically, it has a particular definition and meaning and depth that the people within inside of that field understands. It's called nomenclature, like nomenclature. Like we like, this is how we operate. We need precise definitions in order to start off a premise and a debate or an argument or a thesis and so forth. This is like, I'm baffled at times when people just don't know the difference or just don't understand things like this. It's like, you know, I wonder, like, did we all go to school together? Like, did we all, I don't know, maybe because we're older or we're younger and then, you know, certain things might slip up. I don't know, man. Let me know. You let me know. Okay, Callum, try getting brother Hamza Sortis on the show. He could represent the Muslim view better than most. I'll try. Callum, here is something for you. You have faith in your parents. You don't need to make a DNA test to prove they are your parents. Okay. Okay. I think you do. You really do need a DNA test to actually prove your parents are your parents. Or should I say they're your biological parents. Like, we could say, yep, I know they're my parents, because we're utilizing one terminology of what we mean by parents. You know, my father's my father, my mother's my mother, in terms of, you know, guardianship and upbringing and so forth. Yeah, we can understand that. But now when you're talking about in terms of when you now enter the realms of science and biology, okay, yeah, it definitely has a different meaning. Like, can you prove that your mother is your mother or your father is your father? And guess what? We now have to take DNA tests to prove that they are your parents. They are your biological father, okay? You know? I'm pretty sure, you know, you have enough people like, I don't know, what's his name? Drake. Bruv, you know how many, bruv, you know how many women claim that they're holding Drake's baby? You know how many women that claim that? Yeah, and then the child could be born, yeah, Drake's my father, Drake's my father. But then, like, you know, and now when you want to go into the, you know, claim for child support through the legal route and through the courts, well, guess what you have to do? You now have to take a DNA sample, take a swab test, or whatever it is. Looking like that, look at that. It's like, oh, Callum, how do you know so much about a swab test and going through child support? How many children do you actually have out there on road? I'm joking. Hey, I don't know. A Allahu alam. I don't know about them things there. No, I'm joking. So yeah, you need to take a DNA test if you truly want to prove whether your father is your father. This is like facts. I thought we all knew this. Let's see. Many physicists would study quantum mechanics to dispute cause and effect as a rule or law. Okay. Okay. Quantum physics. Okay, yeah. Quantum physics now goes beyond you know, what physics is. Quantum physics is operating on a different level, you know, where particles could act as waves simultaneously, or two particles, or the same particle could be two places at once. It now goes into the crazies now. It really now goes down there. But most people were not even clued up with physics, let alone quantum physics. That's something else. That's something else now. What's going on? Bigger Valley in the building. What's good? Just throw the damn god thing in the trash already. Oh man, comedic gang signs. I see you, family. Can you disprove your existence? Can you prove a universal negative? Like, what is a universal negative, and how do you do? Anyways, let me not even go into that. God is nothing more than a man-made construct from the imagination, which is used to justify human existence and nature. Who he thinks are his parents may not actually be his parents. He could have been adopted and was never told. That's right. We can train a poodle, but you can't train a god. I'm only trying to make you think for yourselves. Why do you believe in an invisible entity? Recommend a good translation of the Book of the Dead. Good translation. I particularly like. Oh, you said good translation though. Okay, good translation. Okay, Raymond Faulkner's. Raymond Faulkner's is a good translation of the Book of the Dead. The only reason I was going to say E.A. Wallace Budge, is because you can actually get the hieroglyphs, the transliteration and the transcription, which is like the transliteration and translation. Sorry. So it's a nice little touch. So you can actually kind of review whether the author was actually translating it correctly, and you can even see the depth of the meaning itself. But with Wallace Budge, when you actually look at his translation itself and you look at the hieroglyphs itself as well, you can see that there's loads of inconsistency. So I like personally just utilizing Budge's one to see how he translated. Well, that's a little bit more advanced, because I like to see how somebody comes to a particular conclusion. And that is good. Like Raymond Faulkner, he just gives you his straight translation, and technically, you know, you kind of trust in his translation. Whereas Wallace Budge, like he's made hundreds of mistakes, but guess what? He utilizes that type of scientific method. You know, he puts the hieroglyphs there, he gives you his transliteration, and then you now know how he came to that conclusion. You're like, ah, this is where you messed up. So I particularly like Budge's one for that. But for a beginner, I would say Raymond Faulkner. Hi Callum, can you do a talk with the Titan sessions on this? I want to. This is what I'm trying to draw man them out, you know. What you say, man them? Who want to talk about this? Can we prove the existence of God? You know? Belief versus knowledge. Your audio is breaking up. Yeah, sorry. If you can't refute the cosmological, ontological, and theological argument, then there is a solid logical foundation for belief in God. Blah, blah, blah. The theory is belief until proven. You don't need a gun to be a good person. Which happens at this. When you use the word prove, what are you looking for? You have to provide the evidence you want. Don't we have faith in our parents? Do we need to make a DNA test to prove they are really our parents, or faith or belief is more likely to be true? Do we have faith in our parents? You can have faith in your parents, yes. Do we need to make a DNA test to prove they are really our parents? Are they, if you're talking about biological parents, yeah. If you're talking about parents, as in general, somebody who raised you, then no. So faith or belief is more likely to be true. I don't know. If religion is such a good thing, why have billions died fighting for an invisible entity? World War I and II was because of religion. Fact in science is not a fact the way we get it. Basically, is the best explanation we have. Okay. Dynasty TV, the tomb of Seti I, the 19th dynasty, proves the ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. Okay, truth hit man. Okay. Let me just show you why I'm ignorant. This is why I'm going to show you why I'm ignorant, okay? The tomb of Seti I, the 19th dynasty, proves the ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. Okay. So a tomb of a person that belonged in the 19th dynasty now proves the ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. The Jewish graveyard in Golders Green now proves the Jewish community have a belief in the afterlife. Does that make sense? Okay, what I'm doing there is just substituting your premise or your statement with another group of people, and I'm asking the same question, if that substantiates the afterlife here. I don't know, like, I'm dumb in it. I'm really dumb. I don't understand what you guys are saying. I really don't. I apologize, because I'm like, you're way advanced than me, because you say something like boop 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 boop, and it's all like, A B C D E F G, like, it all makes sense to you. For me, I'm like, I'm thick. I'm real thick. That's why sometimes I have to rephrase questions so I can actually answer them, because my mind computes things and like, it does not compute. It does not compute. I can't actually answer the question because it doesn't compute to me. So forgive me, innit? Forgive me. Science, nature, God are the same. Yes, he is. That's Hamza. Miss KK. Mormonism the best religion. All religions are made to control people. Hi Callum, can you do a talk on that? Yeah, and we've adopted it. Your parents can be proven. And you're controlled. Okay, let me see. God is a figment of the imagination. Let me quickly get through all these comments real quickly so I can start speaking. Some people do DNA when a man wants to know his child. Okay. Got small tribe. God comes from the planet Collab and has endless celestial sex millions of Aryan women. Okay, Times TV. The Osiris religion proves the ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife.
15 a.m. 15 and in Cheshire.
The Osiris religion proves the ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. Okay. Okay. The Jewish religion proves the Jews believed in the afterlife. Does that make sense? I'm trying to understand if it even makes sense. It even makes sense. I don't know if it does, you know. You gotta help me, innit? You gotta help me. You gotta do like a claim like this. Look, Callum, inside of such and such, it clearly states that these people believe in the afterlife. And the afterlife is conceptualized as such, and that is the reason why they believe. Such and such has attested to such and such believing in the afterlife. I don't know, you have to do something like it's real simple for me to compute, you know, family. Please do it. Please do something simple for me. Have you ever read the Tibetan Book of the Dead? No, I haven't, you know. I've seen it, but I haven't read it. God is outside the universe, so how can science prove God? The question is a contradiction. Exactly! Well done, 93 Football for life. You cannot use science to prove God exists, because God is outside of the universe. Therefore, it is a contradiction. Excellent. Excellent. So we realize now that God is a contradiction to be proved. No, I'm joking. Let me stop that. The money for this must be good. I don't get the energy man has. I think we should just stop looking for a God that comes from a book and start looking for the God within ourselves. Woo! I like that. How did the first cell come to life? All the books say, I don't know, you should ask God, you know. Ask God, how did the first cell come to life? According to Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop, the ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife. Okay. Okay. So, what does he say? What does Sheikh Anta Diop say? That how the Egyptians believed in the afterlife. Could we go there? I don't like the parents' analogy. Irony. I don't mind people believing in an invisible entity. My issue is people believing in other people's invisible entities that no one nowadays speaks of. Okay, I'm out. Need to finish this essay. All right, cool. There's a lot. You said people who's experienced God rather than those who read about God. Yep. So, let me quickly get to the bottom of this. Yeah. Yeah, B. Yeah, B. So, let me just make sure. I got some space. Let me go back a little bit. Okay. So, anyways, this is what I'm saying to you people. This is what I'm saying to you. I want to know. Okay. I want to know. I want to do a show today, actually. I definitely do want to do a show tonight.
When Sayyid Ibn Zu Yazan came to power over Abyssinia,
hold on.
that being 2 years after the birth of
Hey,
the
yo.
message of God.
I don't even know where that came from. Okay, cool. So what I'm saying is that I actually do want to do a show tonight. If you lot are down to do a show tonight, let's do it on God, man. Let's do it on God. Can we prove the existence of God? And if we can't, why do we accept? Yeah, you know, because I got a feeling we cannot prove the existence of God. I think if we could prove the existence of God, we would not be having all these debates. Okay, so I really don't think we can prove the existence of God. This is my little hypothesis, not theory, but hypothesis. Okay, so I want to know, what are your reasons that you came to the conclusion that God actually exists? How did you come to that conclusion? What is your method? And is it a method that can be universally adopted? Can we all adopt this method and come to the same conclusion? You know, can we come to that same conclusion? Sheikh Anta Diop said the Osiris religion is the first to claim the notion of heaven and hell. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Sheikh Anta Diop could do that. He's the first, said the Osiris religion is the first to claim the notion of heaven and hell. All right. And now, how did the people at the time understand or understood what heaven and hell was? Or the conceptualization of heaven and hell? They didn't have a heaven and hell conceptualization at all. It could be misread or misunderstood as a heaven and hell. What I mean by this, I don't know what hell is like for other people. So you have Hades in Greek, you have Sheol in the Jewish scriptures, you have Jahannam and so forth with inside of the Arabic schools and so forth of understanding. But what we do have in the ancient Egyptian or the Kemetic philosophy is something called the lake of fire, or the lake of sulfur, the lake of fire, basically. Lake of fire, which is guarded by certain amounts of individuals around it. But what does it actually symbolize? What takes place? You know, what actually takes place during that lake of fire? Is it something of punishment? Is it something of refinement? Like, what is the lake of fire exactly? So that's the hell conceptualization that most people pick at and say, yes, that's that. But it's not the same hell conceptualization as you have in religion, but the element that religious folks may have adapted or may have inherited or may have whatever you want to call it as, could come tantamount to that, possibly. But no. Did they have a belief in the afterlife? You have to prove that. You have to prove that. You literally have to prove, did they have a belief in the afterlife? Or did they have a knowledge of what they considered afterlife to be? And what was the symbology behind all of these things? That is the question that you have to ask yourself. But most people aren't actually clued up with ancient Egypt or Kemetic understanding. So it's kind of hard. So I think we may even just put across the belief to you guys. So let me just say to you like this. Yeah, we have a belief in the afterlife. Until you're initiated, until you're well learned into the ancient Egyptian understanding, you'll realize how far removed that is. How far removed that is. But that's another story. Has anyone ever thought that God is doing an experiment to see how intelligent organisms adapt to or modify their environment? Religion rely on two things: acceptance of the supernatural and considering faith to be virtue. Nature proves the creator. God is a title. Anything that can be asserted without evidence can be disseminated without evidence. Christopher Hitchens. So vehicles create themselves, right? If so, this PC, phone or tablet you use created itself. Clearly, there is intelligent design behind it. He or she isn't called God, but truly a higher power. All right. So vehicles create themselves, right? It's a good question. You know, I wonder, do trees create themselves? You know, clearly, one thing isn't artificial. So like you're talking about artificial things like PCs, phones, tablets, and cars. They're artificial. Clearly, they're all man-made. Clearly, they all have a intellectual organism that has designed it and so forth. But the question is, like, trees. Did the trees have a creator? Who created the trees? And so forth and so forth. Oh, let me mute this thing. Let's see what else we got here. There is energy, some call them gods. I believe in God, but in no way believe in necessarily important to believe. It's all about experience. That's right. Exists as is possible creation. Belief will always come in. If there is no God, where did we get our rationality from? And can you prove with rationality using your rationality itself? Okay. Science doesn't disprove the existence of God. If 50% of the world's population believe in a God, I think it is a range of factors. It's using logic, probability, and it's within us to think this way. Throughout history of mankind, God figures. Interesting. I like that. Matter obeys Allah. Otherwise, matter would keep changing constantly. If matter didn't obey a higher power, nothing will stay as it is. How do you know that? It's a nice claim, but how do you know that? How do you know that? If hell was real, why hide it like a bad joke or something? The levers in the car is wavy. Give thanks. God is simply a title. Do you hate Muslims, bro? Okay. This is no after, just life, a continuation of life. That's what I mean. Trees are made of matter. I cannot make you believe in the attributes of said God. I can only have faith in them. I am not foolish enough to believe there aren't any embellishment lies about said God. However, his existence is something else. Clickbait. Someone says, is your car on hire purchase? Okay, I'm on. Actually, a more important question is, why is God hiding so many things? Neil deGrasse Tyson dropped a big quote. One of the challenges in life is knowing enough to think you're right, but not enough to know you're wrong. Man said, are you assuming Sheikh Anta Diop didn't know what he was talking about, but you and Sarah do? Just asking. What did he say? What did he say? I'll tell you straight up. I'll tell you straight up and down, okay? Not in a very arrogant, it might come across arrogant and egotistical way, but I do actually have discrepancies with a lot of these Afrocentric or Kemetic or even Egyptologists on their works and their claims and so forth. That's just natural. You should do. You're supposed to. You're supposed to. I'm not saying that Sheikh Anta Diop is wrong or anything, because you haven't presented anything. But I'm just saying, with all of them, I look at their work and I'm like, that's poor. That was poor scholarship right there. It is what it is, man. Come on. I don't know what's wrong with you. But of course, maybe from the religious side of things, like you lot tend not to disagree with your texts. For example, like you may not disagree with your Bible or your Quran, whatever it is, you may not do that. Or what the scholars say in the field and so forth. You may not disagree. That's up to you. That's up to you. I use my mind. I'm able to critically analyze things. And I'd be like, nope, that don't sound right to me. I don't agree with that. Nah. And so forth and so forth. So, no, I'm in my right to do that, fam. I'm in my right to do that. Josh in the building, what's good? Hey bro, I believe that we can use a methodology of inductive probability that we also use in history and science to establish the probability of God's existence. Up for talking about this tonight, mate? Yes, Josh, I am definitely up for talking about this. I think I'm gonna have to inbox you on Facebook later on. Inbox you on Facebook and get you the link. Maybe around, like, I'm thinking maybe about 10, 11. Let me know, Josh, because you're strong. You know, you're strong in the field, iconic in the field like Solomon's seal. So yeah, I need you on. Definitely, my brother. This is your topic. Is the Quran an unreliable source? Deep thinking today, Callum. Yeah. The question is, why are we in this life for? Can you prove that there is no creator? No, there is a creator. Definitely is a creator. I'm here creating content for you right now. You cannot tell me that it's not a creator. Jeez. Why should matter be a tree? In the end, the ancestors didn't create themselves, period. Neither did this earth. If it did, why would they create themselves to be subjected to death? Well, I am in the open. Have you experienced God lately? Why are we the only living beings with free will? Everything else follows natural orders or laws. Yes, always. Wahhabism is mother of all evil. Wow. On an anatomic level, we're all many millions. I would have consent to choose naked as in wisdom. Who created the stars? Who created the bang? They did not know who. Let's see. You meant to add their work and write a book. Callum, do you believe in a creator? If not, can you prove it? Yep, I believe in a creator. I definitely believe in a creator. Ra'un Nefer Amun. Ra'un Nefer Amun is on point. Callum is a copycat now. Sometimes you lot got issues, you know. Have you listened to Alan Watts? A lot of secular people find so much logic in our existence. Let's see. Just quickly. You lot got loads of questions, you know. Loads of things, you know. 9, I can't even do it for 9, you know. Like 10, 11 is like prime time for me. Why do we have 2 ears and 1 mouth? Can't we see we are designed by a rational deity? Why does a spider have 5 eyes and 8 legs? I love that, you know. I was looking for that type of comeback, you know. You did it for me, you know. You did it for me. I feel like God may be real or human, just say that to make themselves feel better about themselves dying for a loved one. Why does a jellyfish have no eyes and no legs, etc., etc.? What religion do you believe in? I believe in all the religions. I believe in the religious right to exist. Callum, can you do the show a bit earlier than normal? 10 the latest. Right, you'll always 10. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'll see what I can do. Who's science? The information has always been here. Let's see. Yes, that's a good one. It's a good book. I need to read the Meta volumes. Did not the ancient Egyptians royalty have their treasures buried with them, thinking they were taking them into the afterlife? Okay. The question, they did take them into the afterlife, didn't they? After their life was over, it was buried with them. So they took their treasures into the afterlife. Is it not so? Okay. Nothing is ever discovered yet realized. We are gods just fallen from our greatness. Oof, the powerful ones there. How do you communicate with your ancestors? You pick up the phone, and you go, "Mommy, how are you? Daddy, what are you doing? Grandma, it's been a long time since we spoke," etc., etc. That's how you do it. If God is everything and man cannot know everything, then how can man claim to know God? P.S. Knowing about God does not equate to knowing God. Oof. Bruv, you lot coming up with some sick poetry and philosophy, you know. I should be writing this down. I need to write a book, man. I feel like this guy should be a preacher. The same way you communicate with rocks, you don't. If you see all religions, this will he still love me? We created with the originator before our fall. Our aim is to govern creation, create with the creator. Damn, son, you hitting it hard. You talk to the ancestors, but just talking to them in your dreams. If you were God and had the power to do anything instantly, how would you spend your existence? Whew. Whew. Eating jollof rice and drinking super malt. Oh. Oh. Or go to a Ghanaian restaurant and have some tilapia with some wache. Oh man. Sorry. Where was we? Anyways. It's not funny. Be serious. How do you communicate with your ancestors? You know what I mean? I know. I'm telling you exactly how you do it. Like, unfortunately, sometimes, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have personality switches, and with that being said, my personality switch here right now is the natural world. So I'm telling you, on a natural basis, like, this is key. Like, the whole ancestral veneration, the reason why you actually have, let's say, for example, shrines, or a shrine dedicated in half or part to your ancestors, is for the whole psychology of being able to welcome, love, respect, and honor those ancestors who are here present with you. Okay, it's a psychological mindset. Okay, reason being, if we honor those that came before us, so there are, for example, your biological parents, they are your ancestors, those are your first predecessors. Okay, we honor and love them. Then we have other people within inside of our community, on a community level, who have been effective and are constantly effective, okay, both alive and past. Okay, we now show that same respect to them and we refer to them as ancestors. Then we have ancestors on the national level, the national level itself, and those could be your kings, those could be your Martin Luther King, that could be your Malcolm X's, that could be whoever it is that has passed away. We show them the honor and respect to them, and that is how we do it. Okay, it's that simple. Like, we show our respect to them. How do we actually physically, verbally communicate with them? Some ancestors that are alive today, that is how you do it. Otherwise, the other ones who have passed away may come to you in inspiration. They may come to you via reading their works, listen to their music, whatever it is that you can communicate with them, or they can communicate with you, and they've left certain things. So, for example, in ancient Egypt, you used to have tombs, and this is a way where you can communicate with the ancestors, because on their tombs you can have writings that state particular things that can benefit your life and affect you in a positive way, and that is how you are able to communicate with them. Anytime you're reading a work in history like Shakespeare or Socrates or whatever these cases, these people are living after their life, in terms of their thoughts are living on the things that can actually affect you and move you to propel you to be a better person. You're actually in communication with it, you're utilizing it, and sometimes you can even speak back to it and be like, but how did this happen? And somehow suddenly you have a spark of inspiration where that information is now communicated back to you. So that's kind of how, as well, there's various different means of communicating with your ancestors, your predecessors, and them communicating with you. Okay, there's loads of different forms. A lot of times you guys think about it in a very mundane, literal sense of the way, as in you're actually literally speaking to someone. I don't know. I know most people can literally speak to somebody, I guess. I've never experienced that like that. But in terms of, visionary states and meditation, and in terms of, utilizing their works, that's how you can get in communication with your ancestors. I don't know how else. Many will need other reincarnations, maybe next lifetime. I'm gonna have a debate on Speaker's Corner again. I don't know. Yeah, they did, but the key word here is ancient. Just because they did it, and then has to do with the ancient Egyptians got it wrong because their treasures ended up in the hands of the Arabs and the British Museum. Perception is key, King. Perception is key. Answer the question, man. I am serious, Paolo. You cannot communicate with something that no longer exists. Rocks does something. No, it would be food, innit? People used to just yeah, it would be, I ain't gonna lie. People used to justify that black people and religion go hand in hand. Really saying Callum something within his heart that tells him God exists, but he just still can't swallow it. That's normal. It takes time. Oh man, we was giving you the medicine the other night. A medicine man. I said Vitamalt or Power Malt. Nah, G, Super Malt, the original. Let's see. Do you like Real Madrid? I don't really watch football, you know. Answers of living your dreams, they're not deaf. Let's see. The Book of the Dead was originally called the Book of Coming Forth by Day. That's right. Let me see who these cocoons are. Okay. Can these ancestors just lie and deceit? How to find the truth? I have my brother. Titan TV. What is the Book of the Dead about? The afterlife? Case closed. The end. Finito. Really? Really? You honestly believe the Book of the Dead is about... I don't know what you mean by the afterlife. It is about an afterlife. It is an afterlife. I don't know if you've actually read it. I don't know if you read it, you know. I really don't know if you read the Book of the Dead. If you really honestly believe that, then I know with a surety you read it with lack of understanding and comprehension. That's as far as I can say to you. As far as I can say to you. That's all I can say to you, you know. You really didn't understand the so-called Book of the Dead. Because if there is prayers for morning times, there's prayers for evening time prayers, and so forth. Like, I don't know how, like the after. I don't know if it's got moral codes and instructions there for you. What does that got to do with the afterlife? I don't know. I really don't know, you know. I really don't know, and that's just me just putting up little things. I don't know. Like you got, like, this is what I'm saying, you know. Unfortunately, and like the Book of the Dead as well is a book, yeah. You cannot just read just like that, you know. You just cannot read it like that. I remember that. You know how long ago I had my copy of the Book of the Dead? You know how long ago? I picked it up. I tried to read it like it's a Bible or a Quran or something. I throw that down straight away. Like, nah, fam, you're spinning my head. You're spinning my head. Absolutely spinning my head. I don't know what you're saying. So I know, like, with confidence, most people who have no education in Kemet would read these books and have no clue what's going on. Like, this is how I know you have no clue what's going on in those books. Even Slim Shady believes in God, but kind of doesn't. Are you going to the Elders Conference in USA? I was gonna go, but unfortunately, you know, times are hard, G. Times are hard still. Kind of does believe in God. You know, science can't prove God exists because it's impossible to create. Western science, I need to get going, you know what? Good to go. Callum, you deserve a break, fam. I don't think people know how much, you know, voluntary work you put in for the community. Just take your time today. I'll wait. Yeah, that's love, Stefano. See, pepper weed, go smoke weed. Alright. Does Maya have the ability to change into something else constantly? You let me know. You let me know, G. You let me know. You know, I don't know any of you guys who have eggs for breakfast. Or you see an egg, and then it changes now into a chick. That chick now changes into a hefty hen or a chicken. And man them like you now come with your Bismillah. I'm joking though, yeah. I'm not joking. No, it is Bismillah. Okay, it is Bismillah. But I was trying to bust a little joke. But anyways, and then you cut that chicken and then you pluck it and then you now do what you need to do. Some people, or you know, just throw that straight into the oven. Other people, you know, we're gonna put some nice salt, some pepper, some onions, some, you know, Maggi cubes, some seasonings, some whatever, and we're gonna let it marinate. We might even let it marinate overnight. Put that in the fridge overnight and let that marinate, G. You know what I mean? Next day now we just cook it nice and you just you just eat that food, you know. You eat that good, healthy food. Eat good. And that all that protein and carbohydrates and vitamins and all those things and minerals that go into your body gives you a next type of energy. And that matter is now, how can I put it, transformed into something else. It's transformed into energy for you. But then you also have the energy that didn't get transformed and it became the mass or the matter, and it becomes the byproduct, which now becomes, how can I put it, manure. And that manure now can now be utilized for something else. So yeah, matter is always transforming until it's reduced to its least part, or energy, basically. So yeah, the Book of the Dead is about belief. Case closed. The end. Finito. Bruv. Again, that's what I'm saying to you. I don't think you've read the Book of the Dead. I don't think you have. I don't really. Muslims show me the most intelligent line of lines in the. I see. I see. Jeez. Wow, I say real good. I don't know if it was real good, but I liked it. Give me a second. About to start a war. Let's see. Let me have a look at what's going on here. Callum, what's the show on tonight? Let's just read what he says here. The Book of the Dead. The title alone says it all. If they are dead, why do they need it? Again, see, most people don't realize that the Book of the Dead, the name of the Book of the Dead, actually comes from an Arabic statement when these Coptic or these Arab Egyptians used to actually go inside of the tombs and steal, the possessions from the so-called mummies. They'll literally say they've got, the book from a dead man, and that became the Totenbuchen, something like that, in Germany. That's where it came. It was a German Egyptologist that named it Totenbuchen. I believe that's the term, which literally means the Book of the Dead. Okay, Book of the Dead person, basically. That's what it was called. And then when it came over into English, we now call it the Book of the Dead. Unfortunately, that's not the actual name of the book itself. That's like me going into, and picking up a Quran, and I called it the Book of the Arabs, the Book of the Arabs. And I'm pretty sure, Muslims will now complain at me and say, or the Book of the Pale People, for example, and then Muslims will come to me and say, "I'll astaghfirullah, you can't call it that. It's not actually called the Book of the Pale People. It's actually called the Quran." So in the same respect, it's actually called the Pert or Pert Meheru or Pert Mehur, depending on how your pronunciation is, and it literally means the book. Or sorry, it doesn't even mean the book. It literally means the coming forth by day, or the coming forth into the light, or the coming forth alluding to coming from a place of darkness and entering into a place of light. Okay, so it's actually an initiation scroll with numerous things inside of it. Literally. And unfortunately, most people don't realize that a lot of these initiations and other things was taking place inside of certain tomb complexes, which is another story. This is where we have the story of the cave in most traditions. The story of the cave. They always go to a cave and something happens within inside of the cave, that there is now this enormous being of light that comes to them, or they wake up into the light, or they're, the shadows is now being removed from their eyes and they can now see the light. This is what it is. But I don't want to digress into all of that, because it's just, for those who know, we know, innit? For those of us, we know. We go to the ancestors to be initiated, because there's power in that. But for those of us, we know, innit? For other people, yeah. That's the reason why it's called the Book of the Dead, Yeah. You're right, family. You're right. Yeah. It's yeah. I would just agree with you, because might as well, innit? Might as well. Stop talking, making hungry. Kind of will eventually take this. He shahada and things. See, another thing, bro. You guys need to take your shahada, and come back to Kemet. Callum isn't a Muslim. Stop banging about Islam, Marshall. Can you summarize what the Book of the Dead is about? I think I did. I said it's an initiation text. It's an initiation scroll with various different elements in there, with ethical treaties in there, with sacred or secret passwords and questions. It also has moral teachings. It also has prayers. It also has hymns. It also has things to do with what people consider magic or affirmations with inside of coded language. It's got a whole list of things inside of there, actually. A whole list. For those people that know, they know, innit? Those who don't know, then, boy, sorry. Yeah, I want to... Listen, if I could have blocked this purple weed guy, yeah, I think I would have blocked him, because I don't know what type of haram you're actually talking on this thing. You didn't understand what my question is, Kalam. Okay, help me. Kalam, please block purple. Oh, see, even before I just clocked it and you lot are even saying the same thing. Yeah, no, I can't even. Somebody who's my moderator should do it. I can't do it. Let's see. Nah, it's asking me to do all sorts. Oh, sugar. Did I just mess up? Oh, I think I messed up. Yeah, I messed up. Let's see if I can take that away. Cool. Titans and Giants mean Amphibians. I'm talking about the atoms. Come to my house. Oh my gosh. The Quran says seized and mixed. That's kind of smart too. Purple Titans means giants means that's okay. Like, hey, moderator fam, where's my moderators at? Whatever the original name of the Book of the Dead was, what is it all about? Can you summarize it? Kings are the best. Religion, science, philosophy, and hopefully some new info into the back search. Titans stand up. Let's see. Okay, we're Batman as well. Yeah. Again, what's good, people, though? I need to actually do some shows, you know. I need to do some shows on Kemetic philosophy and Kemetic teachings. So, family. Yeah, man, Miss KK. Hurry up, man. Hurry up. Where you at, Queen? Where you at? Where you at? No homo, you know. I'm actually going to be eating a banana now because I'm starvous. Yeah. Where you at, family? So, I want to do some shows on Kemetic stuff soon. Soon. Because we need some more Kemetic stuff. So, as per usual, I know I said I'm going to dedicate some time into breaking down certain elements of the creed. So, we've done quite a lot of the creed already, you know. Yeah. We've done quite a lot of the creed. So I want to know, which elements do you want to actually go into? We have Gnosis, theology, cosmology, ancestry, pedagogy, ethics, and obviously eschatology. These are the 7 things that actually makes up our creed. I want to know which elements you want to talk about, and let's get it in. You know, which elements within inside of Kemetic philosophy do we want to go through? Ottoman Turk, you know what I would love for you to do is step outside of your Islamic ideology and read. You know, Iqra. Iqra bismi rabbika alazi khalaqa. Yeah, read, innit? Read outside of that, man. You know, because I can see where you're getting your ideologies from. Read outside, man. Sons of Liberty was good. You know, I definitely do need to actually... A few people hit me up, actually, What's the main one thing that made you leave Islam? I never left Islam. No, I was away from the laptop, but I heard I'm saying something. Okay. Yeah, you know, I should actually, you know, people were asking me, you know, like, Callum, when you gonna do the breakdown of the whole secret society and the Hanifi and the cave and all of those things there? I'm like, fam, you know, I don't know if you know ready for those things there, you know. You don't know even ready for those things there. You don't even want to know. I was actually, it is a song though. The Quran is a song. Don't get it twisted. It's poetry. It's actually poetry. Even the Prophet thought it was poetry. Damn. Am I a poet or possessed? The two things I despise in my life. So yeah, he was reciting poetry, G. So it is a song. So don't tell me don't do what I can do whatever I please. Okay. So don't even try that. But anyways, what was I saying though? I lost my trail of thought though. Yeah. They were asking me to do this whole you know, Quran stuff, and I was, oh yeah, that was it. I was actually reading some, like, I got through some books, but I remember I was making notes throughout this book basically, yeah. And I just saw something based upon a for those of you that don't even know, I actually wrote a book. I wrote a book. It wasn't very lengthy. It was about 150 page book. 150 page book. And I was actually adding more stuff to it in little articles, dedicating it to a few of my Muslim brethren who actually wanted something for themselves. You know, see me, you know, I'm a good Samaritan, you know, I offer little charities to, you know, my family base, because I see that sometimes they need the help. So I was actually writing a book for them, and it was investigating, did Africans have, I think it was East Africans, I think I made it specific, did East Africans contributed to the origins of Islam, basically. I think the book is actually called Hidden the East, yeah, that's it, Hidden the East Africans. Actually, I've done it both. I've done Kafir and Hidden, the East African origins of Islam. And a lot of I remember just touching on a few little things. Obviously, throughout the years, I've actually gone into much more detail. But I remember touching on a few things like the East African origins of Islam. I've done a whole argumentation to say that Islam is just an East African religion. I think I was saying it's like it had origins in East Africa, basically. It was a good book, very good book. It discussed what was it discussing? Because I was also going into the East Africans. Because what I did, I think I've done the Sahaba search, like, oh, the Sahaba. Let's see how many Africans were around during the time there. And I said, alright, bun that. Let me actually go search into, you know, the Prophet's family itself. Let's go have a search into the area itself and so forth. And like, I found some shocking things that my Muslim brothers, they enjoyed still. They enjoyed, because I literally showing to them that, you know, Arabia was actually part of the Aksumite Empire. And the Ethiopians ran the whole place, like literally from Yemen all the way over into Syria and so forth. Like, it was literally an East African empire at the time. So that was major. That was major right there. And I was bringing up some, you know, historical records and whatever things. They loved it, you know, they loved it. Then we did some investigation into the Prophet's family and finding out whether he had East African heritage. Now that's powerful. That's real powerful there, you know. Real powerful. One always has to ask, you know, self, like, what is the conceptualization of Arabs or Arabia? Like, what is it? What's the conceptualization is? Because a lot of those people are just East Africans that are living in the Arabian Peninsula, which is quite interesting. I brought some real good quotes, some real good books, showing other authors inside of Islamic times, stating how, you know, the Quraysh was technically an Ethiopian tribe with an Ethiopian god. Or should I say Ethiopian goddess? That's when the black woman was God, furthermore. That was powerful. But anyways, let me not digress. But what was I saying? Yeah, they were asking me actually. They was asking me, Callum, yeah, can you break down the whole Hanifi stuff, the whole East African connection, and how, you know, I was breaking this down before, so I might even do some videos on that and just dedicate it to my Muslims, you know, my black Muslims anyway, because I know the black Muslims will like it. Everybody else will be like stuck for a long. Let me actually read what's going on here, because I'm just talking off the top of my head, and I should be gone by now. Callum, do you know about the Egyptian martial arts hieroglyphs? Yep. Jerry Jones, what's the difference between me researching which means read more books, and you summarizing? I've already Diop and others. Now can you summarize? Okay. You lot can say what you please, but when Mandem get onto the ancestors thing or Fengari, you get shut down quick. Double standards. No, I can say what I like, man. I can say what I like, and you can say what you like as well. I don't know how, like, you Mandem have no power to tell the next man what to say and what not to say. You know, I have respect. I don't say certain things, but don't try to enforce. Fam, you can't say it. Fam, I will say what I please, what I like and what I please. If it was poetry, I would have never believed in it. The Quran is beyond poetry. Oh, bruv. It depends on what you define as poetry, you know, fam. You men there are actually like singing the Quran, yeah, but it's not singing because it's the Quran. You lot would be reciting rhymes, you know. Literally, it's like rap music, bruv. Like it's the 7th century rap, but no, it's not rap. It's not poetry. I don't know, man. Let me just see something. I don't know. Let me think. Let me think of that. Cool. No, let me think of that. No, I was to be lame and I should turn a gym. This me, you know what I mean? No, not even that, man. Just poetry, man. What's sort of what's a Nas Maliki and Nas? What is that, bro? That's all poetry to me, bro. I don't know. Sometimes when you're in a religion, you think it's not poetry, bro. But when you come outside of it and you see how much it rhymes and how much you lot singing it, you lot will see it's poetry, bro. Don't tell me different. Derry Jones, the Book of the Dead is about belief. Probably because God does exist. You know how you can see man them in hell. This you is therefore the one I'm looking for. Murder is deceit. Being respectful as possible. Can you talk about why scientists can't prove God is real unless you're a clickbaiter? Well, the title isn't baiting me, but I should shut up. I'm the one here. You should have came earlier on. I think I discussed a few things, and I'm saying that hopefully we can do a show tonight on this. The Quran is not poetry, nor did the Prophet think that, and we do not give Prophet Muhammad knowledge of poetry, nor is it befitting for him. It's not about the message and the clear Quran. All right. Your claim is not poetry. My claim it is poetry. That's it. We both made claims. I guess we both have to substantiate our claims. Eh? Why is anyone so proud of being white, black, yellow, and didn't get to choose it? One. We are great shades of brown. My brown brother. Instead of focusing on Islam all the time, focus on what you believe in. And if it's the truth, shed light on us. I think you're highly interested in Islam on the low, bro. I told you, I actually wrote a book on Islam for my black Muslim brothers, G. I actually done that. That's why I'm interested in Islam. Otherwise, I'm interested in everything else, man. It's just that you lot, there's just so much Muslims here, fam, that you lot dominate. So now I have to just actually speak about something like that on a sly. But this has nothing to do with Islam, this particular conversation here. The style of the Quran does not meet the rules of Arabic poetry, nor which is why no Arab poet was able to make. Bruv, you lot make hella claims, yeah. I respectfully, I hear what you're saying. But again, it's coming from within inside of a religious framework. That's why you think the way you think, man. That's why you think the way you think. I'm just gonna listen to the Prophet. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna listen to the Prophet. Okay, he said he believed he was a poet, or he believed he was possessed. Those are the two things he believed when he first got revelation. And I want to ask you why. Why do you think he thought he was a poet if he was not reciting what he considered to be poetry, or what he considered, or what he calls or classified as saj? That's all I'm going to ask you. If you think it's not poetry, what is saj, and why did he think he was a poet? Question. A good information book to read. Civilization. Well said, Callum. That recitation, not singing. Please, Callum, that's not Rap King. It is beyond that. I do tajweed. Bruv, I'm going to call it as I see it. I'm going to call it as I see it. I'm calling it the 7th century rap. 7th century rap. That's what I see it as. Main respect as possible. Can you talk about why scientists can't prove God is real? Because God is not within inside of the realms of this universe, hence, or whatever conceptualization that most people put forward. He is a transcendent God outside of the realm of the universe, outside of the realm of the natural. So therefore, science deals with natural, the nature basically. Therefore, if something is outside of nature, science cannot prove the existence of it. Science does not attempt to. Yeah, nor does it even attempt to actually prove the existence of God. Callum, allow Islam. Yeah, I'll allow it now. I hear the call to prayer several times a day and it sounds like music. And that's on your point. However, check out the Arabic rules of poetry and classic poets that compare it to the Quran. Back in the game, people, what's good, Big Valley? Science cannot attempt to, and still, there's definitely Vatican Mecca connection. The Quran is a mixtape, you know? Yeah, Quran is very poetic. I'm gonna lie and sub, give me a shout out. Don't have to be, please, I'll be back. Alright, James. Why can't science prove the Martian jelly Higgs God exists? The Quran is like rap music. No, seriously, I've never heard that one before. Yeah, man, seriously. I actually said 7th century rap. 7th century rap. It is to me, man. It is to me. If you disagree, let me know why you disagree. As far as holy scriptures go, Quran is not even top 10. Yeah, you're right. On a personal basis, I can understand why you're right. The Muslims do dominate too much in China. Stop African talk. Man said MF baby. Put some respect on his name, G. Quran sounds great. Morning call for prayer is amazing. Yeah, man. Like, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. I love hearing that in the mornings. You know? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Could come to Salah, could come to Salah. Hey, la fella, hey, la. But I love that, bro. That sounds beautiful to me. I don't know why people want to say that ain't. That's beautiful. I don't know. If I now start saying, hey, baby girl, what you saying to me? You're going to say, nah, Callum, that's not singing, G. You're just reciting, I don't know what you would say to me. It's impossible to formulate a scientific hypothesis, including the God of the Jews. Are you proud of being African? Did you choose heritage? What time is the show? Hopefully, I want to do it from 10 o'clock, you know. 10 o'clock tonight. 10 o'clock tonight, baby. Please bring the reference of the hadith where he said that he thought he was poet. Google. Use Sheikh Gulu. Google. Woe is me. Woe is me. Poet or possessed? That's what you have to type in. Woe is me. Prophet or, what's it called? Poet or possessed? Just type that in. Or did the prophet think he was a poet or possessed? And let me know. See if I'm lying. Stop distorting hip-hop like that. My sister. Back to science, proving there is a God or creator. Could you believe in the Big Bang Theory? Because I highly don't believe that something comes from nothing. You know? I've never seen something come from nothing neither. Can we go in the Bible now, Callum? Its roots, influence, and so on. We need to go to the root of the issue. Let's go into it, family. Let's go into it. Ask some biblical related questions and let's get into it. Salam. Oh, wagwan, everyone. It was good, Truth Seeker. And you claim to be Hafiz Shambles of Tajweed. Okay. Do we have a logical explanation of Staden? I think you might be Satan, but maybe Staden. The Scottish were having rap battles back in the 5th century. You know, Britain Got Talent. Here you come. Doesn't it make you feel peaceful when you listen to the Quran's recitation? Yeah, when the peaceful verses come on. When the peaceful verses come on. not the other verses. You're not saying the Arabs invented rap music, are you? 7th century rap blowout, nah man. Every culture had their own rap, or should I say poetry. Rhythm and poetry. Rhythm and poetry. You're gonna tell me that the Quran doesn't have any rhythm, it doesn't have any poetry? Y'all lying. I don't listen to hip hop. Callum, we need to talk about how much money you got in your account and how much you're gonna share with me. Good question. Good question. Good question. What have you got to offer? Akil. I don't know if Satan is a logical construct, you know. Can't find the answer for Hadith. He thought he was a poet on Sheikh Google. Okay. Even Pac wouldn't be able to produce something like the Quran. I know he could most likely produce something better than the Quran. I'm trolling you now. I'm trolling you, you know. I'm trolling you. I'm actually trolling you. But yeah, I know I could produce something better than the Quran. I'm trolling you, by the way. I'm trolling you, so don't take it for literal. I'm just trolling you. There's music in heaven. Oh, let me go to my Sheikh Google quickly, just for I'm having fun. I've got a few more minutes to spare to have fun, so let me just do that. Sometimes, you know, it could be a boring life. It's a boring life if you don't have no fun in it, you know. You know them way there, G. I need some Benjamins, bruv. Whew, don't we all? Or should we say, don't we all want some? May not need it. Ah, look at that. Look at that. My battery is all low. Okay, how many if you got any spin? Do. Inside. Hey, I need to cook some food tonight, you know. What you saying? What's something good to eat tonight? You let me know. Right, Matt, these things go on for long, you know. God is not an object. What's the topic tonight? So the topic tonight is, can you prove the existence of God? And if not, why do we choose to accept the existence of God? Callum, can we get to know you? Yeah, of course. Pizza. Nah, man, that's yeah. Actually, let me quickly go and get a charger, because I want to play around with my brother, my good brother as well. He always comments on these channels, on my shows. So I actually want to just get my charger, charge up my thing, and then let me just quickly just troll everybody for a hot second. So I'll be back. Give me 28 seconds. Chit. 20 seconds. Chit. Sheikh Google. I deal with the Sheikh Google. You know Sheikh Google? I guess you don't know him, but I know him well. Me and him went to school with each other. What do you don't know about that? Oh man. Hey. So, where were we? Why don't you do proper debates with PhD people from both sides and make it civil and with rules? That's the reason why I don't. Me, yeah. I'm a money man. If the P's are right, I'll do that. To be honest with you. But that's a lot of effort. And that's a lot of egos that you got to deal with. and I refuse to offer anything like that, of that substance. No, let me tell you what I do. Let me tell you what. I refuse to do something like that, of that stature. And obviously, when I do things, I like to do things with a lot of quality and care and effort. And I refuse to do all of those things there for free and just give it to people like that. So that's the reason why I don't, because it's like, you want me to like take out grands of my well-earned money to put something like that on, to now do this and to do that and to make it come together, and then what? For what? For people just to watch it for free. I'm alright, you know. I'm alright, you know. I do events, you know. Like, I organize events, you know, and I refuse to do something like that for free. You have to pay me money to do that. That's why. And them, you know, them like big organizations, you lot gotta come to me and pay me money to put something like that on. That's the way I see it. I ain't got time to be doing that for free. Chicken and oil, cassava. Oh, pepper chicken with cassava leaves, you know, and fufu. Wallahi, if you tasted the Moroccan food, you will immediately become a Muslim for the sake of that food. Have some tagine, harira, and shabkia, another Moroccan. Bruv, man's taste Moroccan foods, you know. Don't ever get it twisted. Tagine and all them, bruv. I told you, you know. Man goes to Morocco on a regulars, you know. Man goes to Moroccan restaurants, you know. Man goes all those things there. Man likes Morocco stuff. Don't get it twisted. It's a hard body. Move to YouTube doesn't have the answer either. Okay, let me just type it in. Let me just see. Who is me? Wow, I've just typed it in straight away and it's come up. I didn't even need to finish it. Can you imagine that? I'm gonna wait. My computer's a bit slow. Let's see. Okay. So I guess it's in the Surat Rasulullah by Ibn Ishaq. It is here, I guess. And I'm gonna share my screen. Like, apologies, my screen is broken in it, so I apologize off the bat. Let's just see. There it is. Can you see it? Can you see it? I cannot even look at them. Okay, let me go from the beginning. So, read, and Gabriel departed from me, and I awoke from my sleep, and it was as though these words were written on my heart. Now, none of God's creatures was more hateful to me than an ecstatic poet or a man possessed. I could not even look at them. I thought, woe is me, poet or possessed. Okay, woe is me, poet or possessed. There you go. There you go. So I typed it in straight away. Woe is me, poet or possessed. And it came up. It came up straight away. That's a simple Google search. So if you think, I don't know, I showed you my evidence. I showed you mine, akhi. So even the Prophet, on receiving his very first revelation, thought he was either a poet or either he was possessed, because of the words that were written on his heart. But you want to tell me that the Quran is not poetry? I take it from the words of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He believed it was poetry. He believed his very first revelation was poetry. So guess what? I'm going to call the Quran, especially that first revelation, poetry. Because you know why? The Prophet said so. And I'm not going to argue with the Prophet, because the Prophet is right and exact. Allahu Akbar. By the way, speaking of the Scottish and the Scottish were involved in is that horned hand Texas Longhorn? Oh, if you were a brother, I would ask my beloved mother to have one of these meals for you, you know. Bruv, you should just ask her anyway, G. You should ask her anyway. See, the difference between, like, this is one of the reasons, yeah, I don't actually ascribe myself to any religion. Because you are too partisan, fam. It's too partisan. If only if I was a Muslim, you would ask your mother to cook me a meal. Fam. So I'm saying some of you guys need Jesus in your life, you know. You don't need Jesus. Because regardless if I'm a Muslim or not, yeah, you should show me that love, innit? I'm about to teach you that story about the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan, you know. How he helped out all of the preachers, all of the, the preachers, the priests and so forth of the Jews. Saw this, you know, battered and bruised man who got robbed on the streets, you know, and they were all walking past him. The priest walked past him, the Sanhedrin walked past him, let's just say your sheikh walked past him, your imam walked past him, and so forth. This is a parable of Jesus, of Isa. You know, nobody helped him, but a Samaritan, you know, a supposed heathen, was the only person that looked at him and says, you know what? I'm not walking around the other side of the road. I'm actually going to pick you up, put you into an inn/hospital, pay for you to get better and so forth, and all those things there, just for the sake of loving you. I don't love you for the sake of Allah. I just love you because I love you for the sake of just loving you. There's just love in my heart. Like this is why I don't, religion doesn't, you know, interest me like that. Because it's too partisan. I just love people for the sake of loving people, not because of the sake of their religion or their affiliation or their color or their race or anything like that. I just got love for you, fam. But anyways, let's talk about why we are not doing something to help our brothers in Africa. True. Callum, do you write books about your knowledge and Kemet? Yeah, I do, you know. I actually do. I actually write little articles and stuff like that. And I just give it to my family then. Yeah. True, Callum. People will want to eat. Wow, degrading your God to food. Let's make a charity to help our brothers in Africa. Okay? Science is God. Okay? Chicken. Have some chicken curry with rice and poppadoms. Religious people should Rick and Morty should watch. Rick and Morty, you know. Send me the link to the channel. Poetry. Why do black people call each other? Good show, by the way. You were objective in reading the comments and you answered some challenging questions about 7th century rap. Low. I show no. So, I want to make a channel today. Brothers and sisters. Okay, what? Thanks for the reference. I was searching Google for the didn't know. I realized you were referring to the Sirah. Interesting topic for debate. My brother, Callum. I love you for the sake of humanity. I got love for the black community. It doesn't matter for you Muslims. It would have asked my mother to cook tagine for you even if you are not Muslim. Excellent. Why not share them or sell them? You know? Yeah, man. Holler at me. I'll give you some stuff. As always, I'll further research. No problem, King. That's why I like you. Timothy Islam, I like you for that, man. You always do your further research. So I appreciate you. Streammaker, are you... Okay. Post a refutation in the comment section. I know you will. I know you will, my brother. I know. And I should have really, I know most times you're not going to say, oh, I don't accept the Sirah, so I should have really went into Bukhari as well. But Tuesday was just like, oh, let me just show you something quickly. I just done Sheikh Gugu, and gave it to you from that. So anyways, oh yeah, who remember this? Have you not read this yet? Have you not read this? I'm still waiting for them. Okay, there was an update. They said that they're actually going to update this. They're going to address certain things that I raised. I think they realized that their scholarship was pretty much below par. Unfortunately. You know, this is what happens, you know. This is what happens. You know who you're dealing with. You're dealing with a nature in flesh. You can't be talking to the natures like that. Hey, man, hold it down, G. Man, know yourself. See it? I'm so dumb. Let me cause some controversy real quickly. Yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a PowerPoint presentations. We can see some live time debates, inshallah. That was a good video. Nice to see a back and forth response. Yeah, definitely. So I definitely want to do a video soon, a presentation soon, family. So a presentation is actually pending. I've got a presentation on Jehuti, on Thoth actually. Let's see if I can actually bring it up somewhere, if I've got it. Let's see. Can we see it somewhere? Keynote. Oh, no. This is not it. Let's see if I got it somewhere. Let's type in this. Let me show you this, guys. Let me show you this. This is a presentation, yeah, that I was doing to actually help my brothers who don't actually understand. Kemetic philosophy. But this was, oof, when you get this, family. Oh, what happened? When you get this medicine right here. Thoth, the divine who became flesh. The Abrahamic claim to Kemetic thought. Oh. The objective. Educate the public on the Kemetic system. Demonstrate the Abrahamic claim of Kemetic thought. Elucidate the similarities and inheritance rather than distinctions. You're not getting into this, you know. I'm not even gonna continue, though. I'm like, let me stop. Let me just stop at Judaism right there. Let me stop. Let me just stop. You know when I drop that, yeah. When I drop that, it's a game changer right there, you know. It's an absolute game changer. Don't ask for it, you know. Don't ask for it. You may not like the medicine. But yeah. But family, let me keep it moving, man. Not to have accepted who you are, atheist, you have an idea for an idea. But yeah, thanks for you guys tuning in. Like, you lot helped me to, you know, spend some time with the family, man. I missed that. Could I? It's that grey hair, you know. That's actually a bid. Yeah, I actually like this time spent with you, family. So it's real nice. Hopefully tonight, inshallah, hopefully we're gonna have some stuff. No, that's a PowerPoint presentation. So tonight, 10 o'clock. Let's see what we can do. Let me actually show you something else, actually. Let's see if can I show you something else? I don't know. No. No. I guess not. I was going to show you one last thing, though. Guess not. No, I've got so much book stuff on my computer. It's amazing. One day, you know, I'm gonna do some, like, you know about MTV Cribs? I think I'm gonna do an MTV Crib. I'm gonna start rolling through Mandem's houses, yeah, and actually start showing you their book collection. That's what really matters. Let me show you their book collection. I'll leave mine till last. You know, them ways is there. I'll leave mine till last. Hidden knowledge is there. Can't show you guys that. Let's see. Is that a bunk? Medicine man. What is the subject? He's this. Yeah, don't concern yourself with objects. Like I'm saying, truth is the medicine. Alright, family. I'm signing out now. So peace, love, and I'll see you on the other side.